Hello everybody, my name is whimreaper. Welcome to my channel, and today I am building a new house for my Sims 4 100 Baby Challenge family. And if you don't watch that series, that's fine, you can still totally follow along with this build, but I will be giving some brief updates in the beginning of this video just because the actual layout isn't that interesting to talk about. But I'm going to be giving some brief updates about how the channel is going to work from now on, well not from now on, but for a little bit, and just talk about the series a little bit. So yeah, if you're new, don't worry, that's not going to be the whole video. I will talk about the build, but I'm going to start off just by giving some updates. So, as many of you might know, I am a university student, and university is starting for me in, I think, a little bit more than a week. So that means that I'm going to have a lot less time to record, I'm going to have a lot less time to edit and to plan videos as well. So what my plan is I usually upload every 2 days now, but until school starts, I'm going to try to upload one video every day. Don't hold me to it, I might not be able to do that either because I have other things as well that I need to do before school starts. But I'm going to try to upload a video a day since I will have this tiny bit of time left to record ahead of time. And then after that, I'm going to hold myself to one video a week, and it might be more than that sometimes. I will definitely try not to make it less, but during the exam times, I will let you guys know if there's going to be any change in the content that I'm releasing. But don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to have to upload a little bit less for a while after school kind of starts amping up, which will actually still not be right at the beginning of school. It'll probably be a couple weeks down the line, but I'm just letting you guys know now. So, but anyway, now that we're kind of getting into a little bit more of the build aspect of this, I'll talk about it. First of all, there's a problem with the footage, and it didn't record the kitchen and I think the bathrooms very well. But everything else is fine. I just will have to skip over those parts, and then in the end of this video, I've decided instead of doing the regular screenshots, I'll do a little house tour. Part of that is because this house isn't entirely completed at the end of this build, because we're going to be moving some of the furniture from my 100 Baby Challenge series old house to this house. And I'm not going to put this up on the gallery until I've moved in the family, but you guys can at least see what you're expecting to happen in the challenge. And all of you guys who haven't seen the challenge, well, I'd recommend you go check it out. I would love it, and it would be fun. But also, if you don't want to check it out, and you like the build, it will be up probably pretty soon, because in the challenge we're moving along, especially if I'm doing a video a week. We should probably be able to get moved into this house within like the next week, I would say. So if you're looking for this build, just wait and come back to this video, and then you can remember how to get to my gallery, which is just, my username is just whimreaper, exactly the same as my YouTube channel. So yeah, I would be glad if you guys wanted to use this build for your families. It's a very colorful build too, and I struggle a lot with what windows I want to use, what wallpapers I want to use, and I struggle a lot with the layout because I wanted it to be a very unique suburban type house. I didn't want it to look like everything else I've done, so I wanted it to be very, very cheerful, especially since the house we live in right now, I find it to be really dingy and dark and like too many neutral colors. So I want it to be very colorful, and I know that's not a lot of people's taste, but I think it just looks so much nicer in these types of videos. I think it works really well for how quirky Rita and her family are, and I just wanted to make a colorful build. Now, I actually have been inspired to do another build that is related to this challenge. I don't know when I'll release it though. Like, I think I want to film it soon just because I'm inspired. But what it is I want to make basically the end goal house for this challenge. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna have a separate bedroom for every kid, room for the matriarch, a craft room, like pool, all that kind of stuff. And I really just feel inspired to make it because I went to IKEA for the very first time yesterday, and I just got a whole bunch of building, like fun, quirky building ideas, and I thought that they would just fit really well in the 100 Baby Challenge. So that's what I'm deciding to do. I don't know if I'll release that build now, or like if I'm gonna wait until I actually am set on like moving in, so it could be a while, but I just thought I would let you guys know that it might be coming up, but that if it does come up, that will be a build that we don't move into for a very long time. Now you can see I kind of get confused about the colors because I put on that orange siding as like a feature wall kind of, and I really am glad I changed that. I changed it to a red brick first, and then it settled finally on a gray brick, but I actually think I like the red brick almost more. But once we move into the house, I might decide, because it's not any more expensive to use the red brick, it just is a different color of the same wallpaper. So I might change it back if it looks good, but it's just because of the windows are blue, the red kind of, like the red brick really clashed with it. But if I change the color of the wallpaper and the windows, I might like this more. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna want to change that back or not, but that is a possibility. I don't know, but the gray brick does look a little bit more subdued. But like I said, I wasn't going for a subdued look on this house. I want it to be really quirky. So that's why I might go back to the red brick when we actually play the challenge. And here I was trying to figure out how I could make the roof work, and I was just thinking like, I don't even like it that much anyway, so I decide to really scale back how much of brick I use, but then I add a little bit more on the other side of the house, which I think works better anyway because of just the layout and the shapes of the rooms and such. And yeah, we just fill in that with yellow, which looks way better. So yeah, this is kind of getting more to the final shape of the house. It's really good. I'm gonna put like a paver down the middle of the yard, and I think that's just because I want to put in fountains. I don't even care about having a pool really, but I just want fountains. I think they look really nice. Obviously that's a very aesthetic thing, and we're not really about aesthetics at this point in the challenge. If you've been watching, you know that for sure. But I want to put in fountains in the yard because I think it would just be really adorable, and I'm just like, I kind of want some color in this challenge like I was talking about. We have a sunroof that looks over the kitchen and the dining. The dining is just a, like, what is it called? An island counter dining set. So we don't actually have a dining table, but I do put in like a kid's study table. I just think that the Sims hardly ever will actually go to sit at the dining table anyway, and there just isn't that much room in this house for one, like a dining table. I could easily expand off of this house, but I wanted it to be affordable for Rita and her kids to be able to move in basically as soon as possible. Because if you haven't been watching the challenge, or just if you've missed it, the reason why we need to move house is because of a lot trait, and you're not allowed to move your house unless, or you're not allowed to change lot traits, sorry, unless you move houses. So that's what we're doing with this house, is we're going to put on different lot traits. Also, it just looks nicer. It's going to be something I actually built myself. We're currently living in just like a pre-made house, which I almost never do. And yeah, that's a little pavement I was talking about, to put like maybe outdoor activities on there, like the chemistry table I like to do a lot of the time. This kids' room, it was really hard for me to figure out what I was doing with it. I kind of go with a blue color scheme, and I'm pretty happy with it in the end. Like, it's not super nice, but I didn't want to use expensive wallpapers or anything either. This was on a budget. It's around, I think it's 33,000 simoleons for this entire house. So it's definitely affordable. We can get it done if we just get Rita to work on her books. Maybe once the kids age up into teens, they can work on painting or something. That would help out too, just to get the funds to the point where we can move to this house. And I actually for once used this puzzle piece playmat for the toddler section on this bedroom, which I do change later to be kids and toddlers just because of the way that everything fits in, and you will see me struggle try to fit everything in. And yeah, originally I had that section planned for that seat, but it just took up so much space, and I didn't think there needed to be a lounger in this room. If we ever add on to the house to have like 2 kids' rooms, so maybe one is like a toddler room and one is the kids and teens room or something like that, then we will put the day seat back in, because that's what I designed the house to be like, obviously. But nothing fit without me removing that, because I end up putting the table in that little nook. Also, I realized I'm probably not actually having enough kids' beds in here. I guess I could use the teens' beds though, which is kind of how I justify it. Because I realized we're gonna have a bunch of kids at once. Fred, Shaggy, and Carlotta and Cletus age up. Those are the names of our kids, by the way. I kind of went for more silly ones, as you can tell. But for now, we have a lot of toddlers, so I wanted to put in at least 3 toddler beds, which we have in the old house as well. I don't really know what I'm doing with the camera here. I think I'm just trying to look at it to see if it looks any good. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're just messing around with the layout. And yeah, I think that with 4 full-size beds and 3 toddler beds for now is a good mix, but we're gonna need to get more full-size beds, I think, eventually. Especially once we get to the point where we're getting a lot of teens in the household. Because the teens can't use the children's beds without having an uncomfortable moodlet, but the children can. That's the unique thing about those beds. Or we could upgrade the children's beds too eventually, I suppose. But yeah, we're just trying to get to the point where I can afford this house, as you heard. And yeah, I actually really like that I chose that wooden and white swatch on that table. I didn't like it when I picked it, but because I just wanted a cheap table. But now I actually really do like it. And the kids' room is quite barren, but I think that once we maybe get some more activity tables, we could put up some drawings, stuff like that. And here is about where the footage gets glitchy, so I'm just going to probably fast forward ahead past this part, and then I will come back in right where we need to, right where it starts to work again. And then, yeah, like I said, at the end, I will make a tour so you won't miss anything. It's just that this part of the footage gets a little slow, so I'm gonna skip it so you don't have to watch it. I'll see you in a second. And we're back to where the footage runs smoothly again. So you can see what I did in the kitchen, and I'm just adding in the stools now. I go with, I think, blue ones. Oh no, I don't remember. Or neutral of some sort? No. Yeah, it was neutral. I could not remember for the life of me which color I picked. But yeah, I just toned down, because I use a lot of blue in this house, I kind of toned it down with those neutral colors a little bit. And then this will be Rita's room, and it is quite big, but I wanted her to be able to fit the baby bassinets in there. Obviously, since the kids we've recently discovered like to play with the babies a lot, so we should probably lock them away so Rita can actually get to the babies when she needs to, which it's like really endearing to watch the kids play with the babies and build the relationships and stuff, but it's just a bit much when you're trying to take care of all these kids to have to control them so that they're not in the way. So that's the reason that her room is a little bit bigger. Also, then we might be able to fit in a toddler or something if we end up, for some reason, running out of space. So yeah, this is the main bathroom. I put a bath and a shower this time, not forgetting that toddlers need bathtubs. I get a little bit better of a sink, not much better by any means. I really wasn't worried about the plumbing at this point, especially because I think it'll be good if the teens can work on repair skill, and if Rita can eventually get that up so that she can upgrade objects that are a little cheaper, because that in this challenge, I think the hardest thing is getting everyone's needs to work and getting money because of the needs being so low. So if we can upgrade cheaper objects, that's going to help us immensely. But yeah, obviously you saw the ensuite, well, not ensuite, the smaller bathroom. That one I just decorated basically the same as the main bathroom. And I went with the Parenthood wallpaper in Rita's room. And I know that the bright yellow is a bit much, and I was going to put in like a little window so you could see through the wall, but I just thought that was a little cheesy. Like, this house is already very cartoony, but I didn't want to overdo it. And yeah, a lot of this build is going to be unfurnished, like I said, because we're going to be moving in some of the furniture we already own. I didn't really want a TV or anything, but I'm just adding outside these monkey bars so the kids can work on their skills, as well as I added a yoga mat so you can work on wellness skills. So that will be new. And this camera, I just shove it in the kids' room so we can start taking photos, hopefully with a tripod at some point, and get some really nice family photos. I put out some seeds so that hopefully we can make money off of a garden as well. I'm trying to think of new skills for Rita to develop and new ways to make money. And yeah, it will be called 100 Baby Home version 2 once it's on the gallery, so you could also search that if you want to look for this later and you're not interested in watching for the challenge to see when it will be released. And I wanted to add some greenery. I put in all these little cute yellow bushes. I think that really helps tie in the cute suburban look a lot. And I added in blue flowers and yellow flowers so it matches the windows and the siding, which I know probably a lot of people don't like, but I really did. And also I made one side of the house kind of overgrown by plants, which is a thing I really like to do, and you might have noticed just if you've been paying attention to any of my speed builds. But I think it looks really cute, and I thought, well, I'm gonna be playing in this house a lot, so I'm gonna make it something I like. So if you don't like it, and you want to download it, just delete it off. It's really easy to fix. Like, all you have to do is just click on the lines and be like, go away. But I figured if you want to download this house, it'll probably be because of the final look, considering it doesn't start off looking that grand, but anyhow, you'll see how I just finish it up really quickly, and then I'll go into the video tour. So I might just leave it here. You can see I'm struggling a little bit, but yeah, I'll leave it here, and then I'll see you in a few seconds for the final tour, and where I'll explain where I'm planning to put some of the things we already own. So yeah, see you in a sec. So as you can see, it is a wonderful day in The Sims, but I forgot to mention, you can probably tell from the surroundings, that we are in Brindleton Bay. I have just jumped into the Hecking household in order to just get an easier look at this place, so I didn't have to make Rita travel or anything like that. And I also just left it paused, that's why the rain isn't moving, so that no in-game time passes, because Rita is for once in a really good mood and I don't want to pass up on that opportunity, so I'm not gonna fast forward or anything. Yeah, so this is what the outside of the house looks like. Kind of interesting to see it when it's rainy. It still looks cheerful, like, mind you, with all the flowers and stuff. So I'll just quickly take you guys through the house and explain where some things will be going once we move in. And you can see through the windows that there's a cute little kid's room, and through here is the kitchen. So yeah, you come right into the kitchen. There are only 6 seats, but I don't think everyone will be eating at the same time ever. The skylight, you can see out to the sky, obviously. The roof kind of blocks the skylight a little bit, which is a little bit of a shame, but it still will let in light, and I think that, of course, is the main draw to a skylight. So yeah, the kitchen, it looks pretty cheap, which it is, but I still think it looks cheerful, which was my goal. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on really good counters or anything. So through here, I used this door, you can see to make it show the kids' room very clearly. And this is the kids' room. It is a little dingy in here because of the white carpet, which I didn't really realize. It also could just be because it's rainy outside, but you can see that all the kids will be very close for most of their activities, and they'll have a little study area in here as well. I thought it made sense to put the sweater on the inside of this door, even though the default is the other way around. I'll just peek into the bathroom. Yeah, there's nothing exciting. A couple of potties, that's pretty much it. And then if we go around here, I'm not going to show the other bathroom actually. You've already seen it and it's not exciting. So in here is the living room. All we have is this couch. And that's just so we have a little bit more room because this is a full size couch and we just had a love seat before. And yeah, this room looks pretty dang empty, but we're gonna put up the family portraits in here, and we're gonna put I think we're gonna put in like skill building stuff. Well, obviously the laptop, or not the laptop, but the computer will go beside this door, I think. And then if you go through here, there's Rita's room, which is entirely empty, and I said we were just gonna take all of Rita's furniture and put it in here, and we got rid of a lot of her stuff, but she still has a dresser and a bed and a mirror, I believe. So that will still fill out the room a little bit. And of course, we're going to have the babies in here once we have babies. And then I'll take a trek out to the backyard. And that's where I'll leave off the video, just so you guys can get a better look at this house and an idea of what it will look like when it's done. Now, it's an awful day outside. But you can tell there's like this little area on the deck where you can practice yoga. There's a little monkey bars out here, and a gate, and a gardening area. And this paved area, I eventually want, yeah, like skills like the chemistry table for kids and like the woodworking table. Like all the tables I think are kind of gonna fit on this concrete section. And then I want to put in fountains kind of beside the porch out here probably, and maybe a barbecue if we can get one eventually. But yeah, that is the house. I hope that you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, all of that if you liked this video, or if you want to see more, or if you want to start watching the 100 baby challenge maybe after hearing about it. And hopefully we'll get to see the family in this house very soon. And yeah, hope to see you soon. Goodbye!